Welcome to the Taking the Lead podcast, where we empower people to be unstoppable. I'm Christina Hepner with my co-hosts Leslie Hoskins and Timothy Cuneo. And today we're going to have a little shorter episode because we've been getting some questions about some things. But first, you guys, I have to tell you, it's been a crazy year so far at Leader Dog. We've had so much going on, but it's been so much fun. We've had a lot of puppies in this year. We've had a lot of breeding moms who have had a lot of puppies. And I got to spend a day helping out puppy care like a while back. And I was going through those pictures and stuff recently. And you guys, I have puppy fever.
Are you going to get a puppy, Christina? Is it happening? Is it time?
Well, here's the thing. I have my dog, Duke, and he's about 8 years old. I got him as a puppy at 2 months old. But, I'm like, he needs a friend. But then I'm like, well, I live alone with my dog. Can I be a dog mom to 2 dogs? That's my real question,
Definitely something to ponder.
It sounds like, when a woman wants to have another baby, they get that yearning to have one. So you want have another puppy because it's like a little baby. So
yeah, I'm a dog mom, Timothy.
It's nice to be needed. And puppies are so squishable and lovable and super cute. And if you're thinking of a puppy in the sense of puppy raising, it's only a year commitment.
That is very true.
But they poop everywhere.
They do poop everywhere, which
yeah.
So brings me to what's been going on in my world these days is we are potty training my daughter.
I'm talking about dogs and you're talking about your children.
I feel like they're one and the same a lot of the times, right? Puppies, dogs, they're all a lot of responsibility.
Which is easier, though? A dog or a child? Which one's easier to potty train?
So I have to tell you, my dog was very easy to potty train. I don't know about your daughter.
She is not, it turns out. Actually, that's a lie. She's doing really well. She's very motivated by her Paw Patrol underwear. That seems to be a very exciting thing in the morning to pick out which undies we're going to wear for the day.
Nice.
And she's doing really well, but it is time consuming. So it really does make me think about, our clients with guide dogs, right? I'm having to take Alice right now, which I know clients do not have to take their dogs out this much. But we're setting the hour timers, right? So every hour we're going and we're trying to use the potty in hopes of no accidents. So it's a big commitment. You really have to be ready for it.
Yeah.
Similar to the puppy raising, I would imagine.
I think I'm going to stick to dogs for a while.
Fair.
We talked her out of it.
You did.
We talked her out of it.
Well, this is my last child, so this is my last time potty training.
If I ever have kids, Leslie, I'm just going to send them to your house. Hey, Leslie's done it. She knows how to potty train.
Listen,
Here's my future children.
I tried sending my kids to my mother, and it didn't work. There wasn't enough time, and I forgot to send the underwear, so all the things were against me. But hopefully, we're going to get there soon. But one of the questions we have been frequently getting, and I know I get asked all the time, Timothy, I cannot imagine how many times you have been asked this question, but how do you clean up after your dog? So thinking about somebody with no vision, you take your dog outside and you have to clean it up, right? So what and how?
Well, first of all, my neighbors appreciate that I pick it up. So everybody needs to pick that up. Do not leave it because you don't know if a little kid will run through that yard and that's a mess.
Oh, that would be messy.
Yeah, well, it's not considerate either. So what I do while Glacier's doing it, I can see her in the daytime, but at night I can't see anything. So what I do while she's doing her business, I listen. For one thing, I can hear her if she's doing number one. Mm-hmm. And so then I'm not really paying attention. But then I can notice if it's quiet, then I take my hand and I go down her backside, and I can kind of get the idea where it's going to be deposited, and I kind of point my foot towards that area with like maybe 6 inches away. That way, when she moves, I know within 6 inches where my foot is, that's where the stuff is going to be. And I put my hand in the bag, and I pick it up, and it just goes into the bag, and off to the trash can we go.
Absolutely.
That's how I do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is definitely a question we get asked all the time. And it's certainly something that they go over in class. Your guide dog mobility instructor, they spend a lot of time making sure everybody is comfortable with this, because we do want to make sure we're cleaning up after our dogs. That's part of the responsibility of having a guide dog and or just a personal pet, is cleaning up after the dog. We want to make sure that we're looking good in public.
Timothy and Leslie, I had no idea that that's how that worked.
Really?
I did not.
Yeah.
Well, the big rule is you're hoping that bag doesn't have a hole in it. And I've had a couple bags have a hole in it, so it's not
you got to feel the bag first and make sure. Oh, that would not be fun. That would be a lot.
We've been there. Every dog handler's had that problem.
You know,
hole in the bottom of that bag.
So part of that too is having a systematic plan. So one thing we work with clients is having a planned approach, right? So if you drop something, or in this case, we're looking for the poo, if you will, and you kind of lean down, you want to be systematic with your searching, right? You don't just want to kind of be putting your hand everywhere. You already have an approach, right? You've got your foot, you know, in the direction in which case it's going to be, and then taking a systematic approach with that hand in the bag, either starting out further away from you and kind of going back and forth, left and right as your hand moves closer to you, or probably starting closer to you and moving left and right as your hand moves away from you. So having this systematic search pattern, which applies to this situation, but also applies for all things. So one of the things that I take a lot of time when working with clients on campus is having an approach or a system to find things, to locate things. So for example, you drop your hat. Well, first thing we're going to do, like Timothy mentioned, is we're going to listen. Where did we hear it fall? And start in that direction. And then again, take that system, whatever it might be starting with circles, small, and then gradually getting bigger to find that object so that you're not just kind of all over the place searching for things. So little things like that, there's just a way to do it. And sometimes we don't think about it.
Yeah. So I have a question. Do the dogs know, like, are they given a time frame on when to go to the bathroom? Because I know. I mean, I did not train my dog to go to the bathroom. Like, he wants to be outside for hours and have me take him on 3-mile walks, and he'll go to the bathroom like 10 times. And I'm like, oh, there's no garbage nearby. Now I got to carry this. Are they? Those are my own personal dog mom struggles.
Struggle is real.
Yeah. So, Timothy, I guess, does Glacier know when to go to the bathroom? Like, does she know at certain times of the day she always goes out? I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was not good at, like, training my dog on we go out at these times of the day.
Well, she goes out first thing in the morning. We get up at 5:15 every morning, and she goes out. And we go out there, and sometimes she doesn't do the number 2. Sometimes she doesn't poo. So we come in, and I feed her immediately. And then within 2 hours of feeding her, then we go out again. And if she hadn't done it at 5:30, she does do it then. So it's like 2 hours after she eats. And then again at noon, she goes out. And again at 3:30, she goes out. And then again about 7 o'clock. And then again at 11 o'clock. So we've got a schedule. So my watch reminds me what time it is every day with a little ping, time to take the dog out. So
you know what?
That's so basically.
I need to get Duke on a schedule. My dog Duke. We're gonna have that talk. He's not gonna listen.
Do you think I can get my 2-year-old on the same schedule?
Right? Let's have a dog mom, real mom meeting.
I'm not thinking that is going to work.
No, it's not.
So one thing also, when we're talking about this, we're always constantly comparing, right? Cane to guide dog to cane, pros, cons, all those different things. I will say you never have to clean up after a cane. That is one pro of a cane. You can simply put it in the corner. It's not too messy. There's no fur. There's no poo. All of the things.
Unless you get the cane in.
True. That is a scenario I hadn't thought of.
But the cane doesn't give you love. It doesn't give you a kiss. And sometimes you can get stabbed by your cane if you hit a rock or a crack and you get jabbed in a certain area, and it hurts.
I said there were pros and cons.
I know. Well, that's another con right there. So, I mean, like I said, it depends on your lifestyle, what you can afford, if you can do it, and if you're going to be responsible enough. So both tools are a great thing to have.
Yes,
absolutely.
That is very, very true.
And kind of goes back to thinking about, travel and this routine and this schedule of the dog having to go out and relieve itself. So What is that like if you're, you can't take your dog out on the scheduled time?
Well, see, I'm getting ready to go on a cruise sometime in August, and I'm already freaking out a little bit because I've got to shut down Glacier's eating habits for almost 24 hours. I mean, and then we're going to be in an airport. We're going to be on a plane for 7 to 8 hours in this whole flight. And is she going to be able? Will she use the facilities that's at the airport and stuff? And it's just you're constantly thinking about it, because I know I can go to the bathroom when I need to, but she can't. And you're always worried about your dog. Is she uncomfortable? Is she thirsty? Is she hungry? And I know the answers are yes. So you just want to get that day to get over with so you can get your dog to the hotel, feed them, water them, and let them do their business. So you got to plan out way ahead of time. And I'm a little nervous about it because it'll be our first big trip together on a cruise ship. And will she use the facilities on the cruise ship for 7 days? I've got to worry about that. Hopefully she does. So a cane's easier to do it on a cruise ship, that's for sure.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, a lot of prep work goes into that. So you're really thinking about the schedule of the day, planning your flights accordingly, Glacier's meal times, her park time, and then even the environment. That's a really good point, is like, where is an appropriate environment to take the dog, and will she, accept it, I guess, maybe? We've heard stories about, airports and different situations that aren't ideal. So
those dog things at the airport are not the best. They stink. They don't smell good. And I've taken Glacier in them, a couple of them, and she's never used one. So that's got me a little concerned for a long trip day.
Yeah, and I'm sure you have to think about, too, is that facility near where you have to board? How early enough you have to let her relieve herself to be able to board on time? So a lot of things that goes into that as well.
Well, actually, there's an app that you can download on your phone. I believe it's called Where to Park, and it tells you where the parking areas are in the airport to take your dog. So it tells you what gate it's nearby, and so you can plan ahead. You'll know where these spots are in the airports, which it's a cool app to have.
Absolutely. Again, back to technology, right? We've talked about this in previous episodes, that assistive technology and using different apps. I mean, really, there is an app for everything these days. But how great is that to walk into an airport confidently and know where you can relieve your dog? That must take a lot of pressure off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. So now if we just get an app for potty training a baby, that'd be great.
Listen, Timothy, Christina, if you guys have any advice.
There's probably some Instagram influencers or something out there that, have created something. I feel like
we're going really strong with the marshmallow technique. And all that is that she gets a marshmallow if she goes on the potty. And what's really funny about that is that also then my 4-year-old, who is the older one, he is now encouraging her to go potty, because if she gets a marshmallow, obviously he gets a marshmallow. So everybody's getting marshmallows at my house right now, but hopefully it's
a win-win.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be potty trained soon. So
yeah, see, that wouldn't work with my dog because he would just be too distracted by a treat to go to the bathroom.
Oh my goodness. Well, hopefully
as I'm trying to compare my dog to
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. But I hope today we helped answer some of those questions about how do our clients pick up the poo, I guess you would say. So hopefully that helped. Timothy, you did a great job explaining it. So thank you so much. And thank you everyone to listening to this short episode of Taking the Lead. Again, I'm your host, Leslie Hoskins, with hosts Timothy Cuneo and Christina Hepner. We hope you enjoyed it. And please join us next time as we continue to share stories and educate about the world of blindness.
Yes. And if you like today's podcast and all of this poo talk, make sure to hit subscribe and check us out wherever podcasts stream.